Hey there, it's Anonymous Tea, where we spill the tea anonymously. Hello, 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 everyone. Hello, YouTubers. Hope you guys are all having an amazing day today, sending good vibes, sending positivity, sending blessings, and good energy to each and every single one of you. Thank you so much for tuning in. So, today we are talking Love Island UK, you guys. We're talking some Tyrella. I know. Tyrique and Ella, because rumors are swirling that they might be spinning the block, that they might be back together, and we've got to talk about it, you guys, because where on earth is this coming from, right? So, there was a gala, I believe this was last week, an award show of sorts, a gala, what have you. And they were asking, this was after the finale of season 11 of Love Island UK, in which Josh and Mimi won, the first black couple to win Love Island UK and everything else. And so they were asking Tyrique questions on the red carpet, because remember previously, Ty did I think it was a TikTok in which he had on a face mask and said that his barber was trying to give him PTSD with the face mask because that was something his quote-unquote ex liked to do all the time with wearing the face masks and all the things. And so obviously his only ex is Ella, because Ella's the only girlfriend that Ty's ever had, right? So then all of a sudden, all these fans started trying to tag Ella and say, oh, take back Tyrique and all this and that. And she wasn't paying it any mind. And then they asked Ella on the same red carpet, because Tyrique also said that he was hoping to see Ella at this event and he was hoping to catch up with her. And so they see Ella later. The same guy interviews Ella, talks to Ella about Tyrique's comments about hoping to see her and the face mask and all the things. And Ella, she kind of looked a little taken aback at first, but then she was like, well, you know, everybody loves a good face mask. Everybody loves a good skincare routine and all the things, right? So that happened, right? Then there was an after party, you guys. There was an after party, and near the bar area, it looks like Ella and a friend of hers had attended. However, Ella and Tyrique are facing each other, but once the camera pins on them, once they realize somebody's trying to record them, they act like they're not looking at each other, you guys. They act like they're not looking at each other. And it is causing all this pandemonium. And then there's rumors that they left the after party together. There's rumors that people have seen them out and about in London, and that they've been out together in London. Then they both posted on their stories on Snapchat or Instagram or whatever that they both were at the same restaurant eating sushi and eating appetizers and everything else. So clearly they were at the same place. There was also footage of both of them being in a taxi, the same taxi together, and all of these things. And so it is getting some mixed reviews, right? Because obviously the Tyrellas, they're all about this. They've been wanting some type of reunion of Tyrique and Ella for ages. So they're all for this, right? And then the haters are now all of a sudden pissed off, right? The haters are upset because now all of a sudden Tyrique and Ella are toxic, and they do all of this breaking up, this getting back together, and blah 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 blah. And my thing is this. I view toxic of what we saw with Ekansu and Davide, which was the drug rumors, the cheating rumors, having the verbal arguments and everything else out in public events, and the constant messy breakup post in which in one of the breakup posts, Davide's throwing Ekansu's mom under the bus. It was all very passive aggressive. What I will say in regards to Tyrique and Ella, in regards to this whole saga of things, is that it's been very immature behavior and petty behavior with the blocking on social media and the passive aggressiveness in interviews. They've overall been respectful in interviews. However, they've kind of made some digs. More so Ella has, kind of calling Tyrique a F-boy and all these things, which is why I thought, oh, they're not getting back together. There's no way. So I don't know if this is their first time reuniting, or if they have been trying to reunite behind the scenes, or if this is just like a sneaky leak type of situation, because I never got the vibe that their breakup was necessarily on bad terms. I think once they started to have the problems about the moving in together situation, even though it was Tyrique that was the first person to mention that in interviews, that was the next step, until he got back home, it seemed Ella was trying to give Tyrique various chances of things, right? Whether it was the moving in situation or whether it was how she felt she was being treated as a girlfriend. And so she gave Tyrique all these chances. They took these breaks or whatever. However, it was never like a final breakup until ultimately when they were both in LA for Coachella. And obviously it was memories for them because they were previously in LA together and this time they were not. And then eventually at the end of Ella's trip, she links up with Tyrique. It doesn't apparently go well because she ends up leaving and Tyrique ends up extending his trip and moping around. And then we saw the vacation that he took with, his boys, in particular, Toby, where Toby's trolling him and saying how much he misses Ella. But even with all of that, I never got the vibe that Tyrique and Ella were back together. And then most recently, even though Ella and Tyrique still don't follow each other, he's still like liking her post and all of these things, still keeping up with like what she's up to. And then, of course, the one video where, I don't remember if I talked about this or not, where he did that one interview where somebody asked what the greatest gift he was that he received. And he talked about how he received that book where he can like write his rap lyrics and it had like headphones on the cover and said that came from his ex. Obviously, we know who his ex is in Ella Thomas. But nonetheless, even with all of that, I never got the vibe that they were back together. The only vibe that I got was that things were never on bad terms because we never really heard anything negative, in particular of them like coming out shading each other or being messy towards each other, right? The messiness, the extent of it that we saw was just the blocking and unblocking of social media and them deleting all of each other's, posts together, right? But outside of that, we don't have any information other than Ella finally confirming a few months back that they were broken up for good and that she was single. So what do I think, right? With all of this coming kind of full circle, it kind of sounded like they were watching a lot of this season of Love Island UK together. And maybe for certain reasons that brought back certain nostalgia, that brought back certain memories and all these things, because it seemed like they had no problems providing their own commentary and reactions to the show, until it got towards the end where you start to have like the romantic dates and all of the things, the declarations and the girlfriend proposals and the I love yous and I want to be closed off and all that. And then they really didn't start to commentate as much anymore or give much of a reaction. And I felt that was probably memories for them because you have to keep in mind, this would have been around the time this would have been around their anniversary time, right? For Tyrique and Ella of them being together. So, and then I think India and Dami also celebrated their anniversary. And it sounds like Tanya and what's her name? Tanya and Shaq are still together, even though they had like a weird sequence of events where they unfollowed each other too and deleted photos of each other, but then they were at like the family cookout together. So I don't know if this is like the new thing. Before, unfollowing and blocking meant that things were over, but I think with how unhinged this fan base is now and how everybody partakes into stan culture now, I'm starting to believe that this is more so to protect themselves from all of the attention that these fans are becoming too invasive about. But the problem is people are not satisfied with this, right? People want these people to come out and say whether or not they're together, so they can drag it either way, right? They don't like this secrecy that's taking place. But in the defense of Tyrique and Ella, the unhinged fans and their unhinged haters on both sides of the spectrum that were doing Team Too Much, I completely understand if they wanted to get back together and if they did get back together, it would be in secret, right? Because what would happen is these people who wanted to see them break up were constantly in the DMs coming up with all sorts of things, whether they were true or not, and hoping that that was going to be the straw that broke the camel's back, hoping that was going to be the final nail in the coffin of Tyrella being together, and it did not work out for them. It did not go the way that they were hoping that that would go. So nonetheless, Tyrique and Ella are not giving the people what they want and giving them the attention they want. So now it's going to be a constant question of are they or aren't they? Right? But that's what people deserve when you're doing absolutely too much and you have taken your obsession, whether you're a fan or a hater of these reality stars, too far. It is never that serious, you guys. These people, ultimately, yes, they were on TV for, 8 weeks and everything else. However, outside of that, you guys are not entitled to their personal lives, right? They're going to show you what they're going to show you, but the behavior that took place during the relationship of Tyrique and Ella that just went on several extremes that people were doing, it really just tainted, whatever was trying to take place, because they're already dealing with enough of navigating through a new life, of now being more famous and exposed and everything else from being on reality TV. Now they have to go back and see all of the haters, see all the negativity, see all of the obsession that is taking place as well, and everybody trying to be involved in their relationship. And then it ultimately started to backfire because ultimately, they decided to just completely, keep everyone out the loop on what it was, right? So nonetheless, we will see what happens. Even if they do get back together or are in the process of getting back together, I don't think it's going to be an announcement, because I think they're going to want to protect themselves and protect their families, because some of you were out of control contacting their families and their friends trying to get the tea, and it was just team too much. It was just team doing absolutely too much and doing the most, and it was completely and utterly unnecessary, you guys. So there is that. Let me know your guys' thoughts in the comments. Please do not forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit the notification bell so you're notified the moment I post new content on my channel. And with that being said, I'll talk to you guys again very soon.